Alright, we got a Haltech S3 right here. Brand new unit. So what I'm doing here is building my own OBD2A Honda jumper harness to the Haltech S3. And I laid it all out, did a little cheat sheet since they make one for OBD1 to S3. I use the same cheat sheet and use this as my rough draft to find the pinout that I need. And so I copied it accordingly. So there's two connectors. There's an A connector and a C connector. A connector populated over here and the functions, and then C connector is all the way down here. Laid it all out, and all my connectors that I'm going to branch out to, and distribution connectors. So pretty easy to do. So if you want to build one, it's pretty easy. You just lay it out the same way and then find your diagram. So went online on a Google, found the OBD2A Honda pinout. So what I do is go to A1, look for injector 1. So that's injector 1 function, and I'll come over to the ECU. Look for injector 1, that's going to be A4. A4 is that pin. So the way you look at this is from the wire side in. So A4 is going to be right there. And that goes to A4. Injector 2 is A3 on the Honda side. And A2 on the Haltech side. Injector 3 is A2. So it goes right there. And A2 right there, which is A3 on the Haltech side. So keep doing that all the way down. Pretty straightforward. And I'm keeping a lot of the OEM functions on here, so I'm keeping AC, evap purge solenoid. I'm repurposing that to a boost solenoid or electronic boost solenoid. Fuel pump's going to be trigger like normal, check engine light, VTEC solenoid. It is getting a coil and plug conversion, so I am sending ignition coil. I'm setting out the trigger wires to the ignition coils through the factory harness. So with Haltech, you don't use the TDC sensor and some other sensors in a distributor. So I'm setting it through those wires. And same thing with CKF, which is crankshaft fluctuation sensor. That's getting repurposed for the tach signal. Since I'm using stock cluster, tach signal will go through the stock harness out to the engine bay to the distributor connector, and it'll come out to that, and there's a blue wire at the distributor, and it'll loop back into that, and it goes straight to the tach. So I don't have to do any splicing into the stock harness. Same thing with the crankshaft position sensor. I'm powering the sensors that I'm using. So I'm using either a Honda Developments cam angle sensor or crank angle sensor, or a De La Cruz T1 style cam trigger, the 13 magnet setup. So that's going to be the power in the ground through the stock harness right there. And then my O2 sensor, that's going to get repurposed since I'm not using the narrowband, which is a factory sensor. That's not going to be used, and that's going to get repurposed to a flex fuel sensor or ethanol content sensor. It has power and ground right there at the connector already, so it saves me a lot of time. I'm just setting one wire out, that way I can read the sensor and send it to the ECU that way. IAB, it's a GSR. My wife's car is a 96 GSR. It has IAB, so I'm going to use that. And it has a ground wire on one side. The other side is a signal wire that goes to the ECU, so I can use that for oil temp. Let's see. It's pretty basic. Has a built-in wideband. That's what these 6 wires are for. Goes into the connector for the wideband, which is this one right here, 6-pin Deutsch. It goes to a Bosch LSU 4.9, or I can do a NTK sensor. Bosch is easier to find. NTK sensors are more expensive. So I went with a Bosch sensor since I already have it. So if you look over here, I have a diagram pulled up for a 96 Acura Integra GSR. So that's dual overhead VTEC. And we go to powertrain management, engine controls, and this is the wiring diagram for it. So that purge solenoid is right here, yellow black, since I work on Hondas a lot. I know yellow black or black yellow is switch power. Comes down over here to a junction connector, shares all the switch power. This one is your signal wire right here. I click on that, follow it back, should be highlighted right here, and then follow it back. Highlight that, let's zoom out a little bit. So that goes to PCS, which is purge control solenoid. That's pin A15. And if we look here, that's what I'm repurposing to the boost solenoid, evap purge solenoid, pin A15. So simple as that. It's not that complicated, guys. So that's that part. There's some injector connectors, some Deutsch connectors, 4 pins, 3 pins, IAT, pressure sensors, OBD2 alternator, T-series cam and TDC, BSS, mating connector for BSS, K-coils, O2 female, O2 male, alternator for OBD1, OBD0, and OBD2A or 10-pin OBD2 distributor connector on the distributor side. Alright, so let's get to the connectors. This is your connector for your OBD1 ECU. You got this from Ricardo at Versatile Wiring. If you look carefully, you can see big pins right there, small pins right there. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 right there. That's all that I'm using out of the factory ECU side. These are our Haltech connectors. So this is connector A. You see the keyway. There's 1 on bottom, 2 on top. As the picture, 2 on top, and 2 on bottom, 2 on top. Same thing as the picture. So this is connector C, connector A. It shows it this way, but the way you pin it is from the back. And these are pretty cool because if you look carefully, they are numbered. I don't know if it'll focus, but they are numbered from top left right there is number 1, and then number 9 is top right. And then second row, that's going to be pin 17, so it goes 1 through 9, 10 through 17, and then 18 on the third row to pin 25, pin 26 to 34. Same thing on this connector, it does the same thing. So that's that. Put my cheat sheet away. And these are my basic tools. I got a W crimper, generic solid terminal for like Deutsch pins, wire stripper, set of dikes, some random miscellaneous Deutsch connectors. There's some 4 pins, more 4 pins. This is a 12 pin. These are the pins for the ECU jumper. These are the pins for these Amphenol connectors. These are solid contacts for the Deutsch spares. And you got these two, also from Ricardo at Versatile Wiring. So with these, this is what I'm using for distribution of power and ground. So I'm using it for sensor volt or sensor ground and 12 volt. So if you're looking here, these 6 on this side, so 3 on top, 3 on bottom on the right side, are joined together. So any wires that you put in, they will connect all together. The 4 on the top left and the 4 on the bottom left, those are all connected together. So that's 8 pins right there. And you just run your wires in there and put that on top, and they're all connected. Well, not all connected, but split into 2, a group of 6 and a group of 8. And this is how I'm going to repurpose my IAB. So per solenoid and all that, Ricardo got these molded, and these plug right into the factory 2-pin sensors. So VTEC pressure switch, evap purge solenoid, idle air control, knock sensor, what else? Power steering pressure switch. They all use this style connector. He also makes a 3-pin that plugs into the map sensor, and I'm eventually going to get that, repurpose that map sensor, since I'm going to use the onboard onboard map sensor to run the map sensor. So the factory map sensor, I'm going to repurpose that since it has signal ground, 5 volt reference, and a signal wire going straight to the ECU. I'm going to use that either for fuel pressure or oil pressure. Fuel pressure is more important to me right now. I'll figure out a way to run oil pressure without running wires through the firewall. So that's one thing I got to figure out. Excuse me. So that's that. And then I got these wires from Pro Wires or Pro Wire USA. It's a spool that I got. This is pretty old. I got this back in 2020. I'm doing a project that I never got to finishing up, so I had a whole bunch of extra parts. So I already pre-terminated some of these stuff. So this is for the wideband connector. It plugs right into this connector right here. So this gets pinned to the ECU. This side is the ECU side. That side plugs to the wideband disconnect. And then this one is my CAN 1. CAN wires are supposed to be twisted. It's not a pretty twist, but it'll do the job. And then a whole bunch of wires that's cut to length. They're about the same length, about 11 inches. You could do longer or shorter. It's really up to you. All right, let's get to stripping some wires. Pretty simple stuff. Feed that through, strip them, strip both ends. We don't need much with these wires, so strip that. One side is going to be the Haltech pin. Put that in that way. That's usually how it is right there. I'll use a W crimper. So the way the W crimper is, the W side goes to the open side of the barrel or the pin. Put that in, crimp that, and I don't know if you can see it. There we are. So the wire's crimped, and then you still got the second portion, so it's a 2-part crimp. Put that into the next slot. Make sure it's straight and crimp right. And that's how it should look like when it's done. The other side is gonna go to ECU, so I need one of these small pins. Cut the terminal off the strip. Grab that wire. Same thing. Put the wire right there. Grab the smallest portion of the crimp, which is the E slot. Crimp it nice and tight. Go to the second part of the crimp. Make sure the pin is nice and straight. Crimp it down. And follow through with the smaller one. So with this one, it's a little tight. So what I like to do is squeeze the sides down. Make sure they crimp all the way. So that's what that looks like. So I'll show you how to pin this in. Get this winder gun back up. So injector A1. A1 is going to be this section right here. And we're looking from the back side. So A1 is going to go that way. And push that in. Snaps in place. And it's in there. I don't know if you can see it. So A1 goes to A4. So A4, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Push that in. Make sure it clips all the way down. So I know that's in. So that's a small part of the harness already. It gives you an idea of how it's going to look. May not be pretty right now, but we'll clean that portion up later. Let's do the C connector, a pin on the C connector. So C2 and C1. I already have another wire crimped over here, so that's going to be C1 on the Haltech side. C1 on the Haltech side. Pin 1 is top left right here. Push that in. So it goes in all the way. Snaps down, so I know that's in all the way. And it goes to C2 on the ECU. So it's going to be A, B, C. And that's going to be this pin right here. So that's in all the way. So as it gets built, I clean it up more. As it gets laid out, it'll start filling in and looking better. These are connectors that are going to branch out, so flip this around. So starting to look like a jumper harness. Alright, so these are your Dutch connectors. Amphenol is the brand on this one, but these are called Dutch connectors. They're numbered in the back also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are the solid contacts. So they use this style crimper right here. Stripped a couple wires already. So gonna get ready to crimp these on. They're not the fancy ones that everybody else has, but this works for me. Alright, and that's how they come out. So let's get the rest of these done, and then I'll show you how to pin them in. Alright, and these are easy. You just push them in, you hear them clip. Sometimes you just gotta wiggle them into place. With these, I prefer the solid contacts. You get the open barrel crimps. They bend a little bit, and you kind of have to work them away, or work them in a certain way, and get them to all seat properly. So that makes it a little difficult to put in the locking tab sometimes. So once we're done pinning all of these, we'll put the locking tab in. Alright, so all of them are in. As you can see, they kind of pop out a little bit. So the purpose of the locking tab is to spread them, lock them, and you can't depin them. So once you get these in, and snap them into place, and that's it. Now the wires can't pull out. In order to depin them, you pop out the orange tab and then use a pick and pull the wire out. So, all right, let's pin in the CAN sensor that goes to the A connector. Let's unlock that real quick. All right, so what I gotta do is, since it's a twisted pair and they're both the same color, I got my multimeter. I touch it together, they beep. So we're looking for CAN high, pin 3. So pin 3. It's going to be this corner right here. And it should beep. So I'll get a solid connection right there. Hard to do this with a but that is pin 3, which is CAN high. CAN high will go to, let's see, CAN high will go to A23. So it's 25 in this corner, 23 or 24, 23, and then CAN low is 24, which is going to be this other pin right here. Push that both in all the way. These two top will clip down if it's clipped in all the way, which is not. Alright, they're both snapped in all the way. And CAN bus wire is pinned in. Now you got to do the power and ground once I built the rest of the jumper harness. Alright, so right here, this is the Dutch connector that I made for the internal wideband. You look at this, they're numbered 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. So this is connector C, and this is going to get pinned in. Let's see. Wideband connector pin 1 goes to C29. Look in here. Pin 1. Goes to C29, so that's 26, 27, 28, 29. That's going to be the fourth one over. Cool thing about these, to unlock them, push that in right there. These two tabs will pop up, indicating that it's unlocked. So let's grab pin 1, and we're going into 29, 26, 27, 28, 29. Simple as that. Pushed in all the way. And then if you could lock it, push that down, it locks. That means it's in all the way. So let's unlock it. Pin the rest of it. Pin 2 is 30. So got pin 2 right here, 30, pin 3, 31, pin 4, 32, pin 5, 33, pin 6, and it's gonna go to 34. So if it snaps down just like that. Normally you're an audible click, but that means that's nice and tug, or nice and tight. So that's how you do that. That's a wideband side. All right, let's get to crimping. Alright, so I started pinning some stuff already. So I'm doing the CAN bus power and ground, and it's going to the distribution block. And this is a terminal for the distribution block. It can accept 2 18 gauge wires, or this is actually a 20 gauge wire. So 2 20 gauge wires. Let's crimp this in. So 2 wires and 1 pin. And same thing for the other one. Two wires and 1 pin. And the reason for doing this is you don't have to use up all of the slots that are available. Use up a lot of the so if you have more than 8 wires, you can double up on one pin. So 8 will be 16, 6 will be 12, so on and so forth. So makes it so you can add more with less. Alright, on this one, I have some old terminals from an old project. So I cut the top off and I use that for splicing. So I'll show you how to do that. So that's trash. I use that for splicing. And we are going to splice this wire with this wire, which is your switch ignition. That's going to go to the distribution block. So the way it's done is I already cut a little section of the wire that's there. Put that in together like that. Both wires are in there. Now we're gonna go ahead and crimp that down. So that's the first crimp. And the second crimp will hold the wire. Just like that. And I will do that again with the ground wire. Just this one. Come through the crimp. And comes out nice and beautiful. So I'm gonna need some paint shrink for that. And just that right there. Just cut some to length. Slip that on. That's gonna go over just like that. That's gonna go over just like that. Make sure there's no sharp edges. So run through with the crimp again. Take any of the sharp edges off. So cleans it up. And normally I would use the heat gun, but it's kind of late. Everybody's looking in the house. So I'll use the lighter method instead. Alright, that one's done. Alright, perfect. Now I can pin these in. Let's see, that's pin D12.
C12, we'll go to C26. C26 is this bottom left corner right here. So try not to twist this all up. And that's C26 in this corner. Snaps in. Try to clean this up a little bit. Otherwise it's not so tangled up. It's untangled a little bit, and this is A24, which goes to A18. A18 is going to be this bottom corner right here. Oh, gotta unlock it. No, it'll let the pin go in all the way. Like that. And these wires right here. A little extra wasted wire, but it'll come out looking nice and long run. So once zip tie them off, we'll be good. That's the distribution connector right there. I'll clean that up. So it's coming together. But I'm gonna call it for a night, and get to it again tomorrow. All right, we're gonna get back to wiring the stuff, and look who's here to visit. All right, we're gonna do this.
So the headlight should have one ground and one trigger switch, right?
Headlight, it's all ground switched to the relay.
Well, see, he's looking at power to it.
Yeah, he's gonna backfeed it.
That's probably why it's not coming on.
It'll come on, it's just, is it gonna be right? Genius. Alright, we're gonna verify the jump harness. So I use the multimeter, set it on continuity, you'll hear the beeps.
So pin A1. To pin A4. Force one over. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. Now I'm gonna go in order. A2. It's injector 2, so it's A3. 1, 2, 3. That's good. A3, which is injector 3, it's A2. 1, 2. That's good.
He keeps waking up and he's awake, so I'm gonna go in with him right now.
A4.
What?
Pin A1. Pin 5. It's gonna be injector. Spare injector. That's gonna be pin 1. Oh, I had it mixed up. Labeled them wrong. So, pin 1. That's right. So I gotta switch the tags on it. Injector and cans mixed up. A6. 6. Which is pin 2 on this. A7, injector 7. Pin 3. Injector 8. Pin 4. That's right. So I'm gonna peel this off. Because it's not right. So A9 is DPO, AC relay, so A17. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then A10, go back across. And that's A10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 10. That's right. A11 goes to A23. A23, it's gonna be down here. A12 goes to A12. Air control valve. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we're not using the next pin, which is ignition switch input. So we'll go to A14, DPO3, that's spare. DPO3. Pin 4. That's gonna be this one, so usually little safety pin or needle. So pin 4 is that one. That's right. Alright, so A15 goes to A15 here, so it's 12, 13, 14, 15. 11, 13. Right. So I think I found my first mistake. Nope, nope, 13, 14, 15. That's actually right. Just wasn't a good connection. 15, 16 goes to 16. A16 is fuel pump. This next one over. That's right. 17. this way. So A17 goes to A27. 17, 18, 19, 20, 6.7. That's right. 18. 18. I'll go to A24, which is this one. Alright, so here it's HPL1, so the half bridge. This pin 5. Pin 5 is next one over. Pin 6. HBL2, pin 6, then A21 to 18, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's right. 22. 8, 23, it's gonna be cam, which was mixed up, twisted pairs cam, so cam high is pin 3, top one here, that's right. Next one should be cam low is pin 4, to the bottom one, that's right. Switch ignition input, A11, it's gonna be that one. I'm not using A26, A27, ignition 1 is A20, so A20, so 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, that's right. C3, so A, B, C, third one over, right. That's 29, A29, C13, so 1, 2, 3, that's gonna be put under it, right there, 30, C14, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's right. 31 goes to C12, ABC, 1, 2, that's 1, ignition 6, this pin 7, so pin 7 on the spare is this one, that's right. Ignition 7, A33. That's gonna be the next one over here. And A34, which is ignition 8. So that one. Alright, now let's go to the C connector. C1, which is going to C2, which is the trigger plus. 1, 2. I'm not using trigger negative, so C2 we skip to C3. Let's go to C4 on this harness. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. I'm not using the whole negative, so we skip that. Now we're on SPI1, C5. That's on a spare. SPI1 is pin 1. It's gonna be this one over here. That's good. SPI2, C6. Goes to C29 with this. So I messed up on one pin. You can see that right there. Gotta repin that one. It's not pinned in right. So it's C29. It is 31 over, which is that messed up pin. That I gotta fix. So C29 gotta get fixed. Alright, so C7 goes to C18. C18. Alright, C18. It is that one on top. Go back. C8 goes to C5. It's that one. C9 is 8 volts. And 8 volt goes to the spare. Just pin 11. I'm gonna miss this one. That's good. Alright, C10. Just D5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C11. We'll go to AVI2. That's on a spare. AVI2 is pin 2. Turn this back on. So pin 2 on this is up here. That's right. AVI3, which is C11. AVI3 is pin 3. Next one over. That's good. AVI4 goes to C13. C13 is going to be should be good. C16, sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Throwing me off because they're both C connectors. So C14 on this side. We'll go to C15, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alright, kind of wrong. 2, 3, 4, 6. C15. That has definitely been wrong. Oh no. Speed to pressure switch. C15, that's what it goes to. No, that one got repurposed. That's why it's throwing me off. So that actually goes to sensor ground. Sensor ground is going to be this metal pin on this one. I'm doing it wrong. (17, 16, 15, 14). C14 goes to C15. What am I doing wrong here? C15. Why is it pinned wrong? (10, 11, 12, 13, 14). So, 2 mistakes already. So, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. C17. These are the two that I have on. C15, we'll go to A6. C6. One, two, three, four. So that actually is moved. That's in the wrong spot. C16 goes to DV. 5, 6, 7, 8. That one's right. C17 goes to D2. 1, 2. That's right. C18 goes to D3. That's right. C19 goes to A26. A26. That's right. SPI6 is the next one. SPI6 is rear ground speed. And the rear ground speed, SPI6 is pin 3. Pin 3 is on this side. That's right. Now using cam high, cam low, cam bus 2, C23. So we'll skip 3, cam low, cam high. Goes to D6. Not using ARC 2. So I'm on C25, that's 5 volt. 5 volt will go to pin 10 on spare. Which is this one. And also go to D4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And D10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, that's all good. C26, which is sensor ground. Let's do the live one. And then D12. And then pin 12, which is this one. Okay. C27. It's D1. That's good. C28. D7. That's good. And we'll go white pin here. I'll use the start ground, pin 1, connector. Pin 1 is going to be over here. Next one over is C30. C30 input, it is pin 2. Third one with the pump. Pump is pin 3. Next one over is C32 wideband nurse. That is pin 4. Just top one. C33. The heater ground. And then wideband cal C34 should be pin 6, which is this bottom. So it's all good. Go to sensor ground, C26. C26. It's gonna be this corner. There should be sensor ground. Sensor ground should be the middle pin on this one. Right. Which is also the ground with CAN bus. Ground by CAN bus. It is pin 2. Alright, so the camera ended up dying on me, so I didn't catch all of it. Here's the last revision of the wiring pin out. I ended up moving some wires around because the coil and plug kit. So yeah, this is the final harness right here. Give me a like and subscribe if you like the video. Thank you.